Right, welcome back to Whizbits at Random Gaming, everyone. And today apparently is the day. Apparently today we are getting the reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2. That is, however, if it's going to be called the Nintendo Switch 2. Nobody apparently knows if that's the case. Everyone just seems to latch onto that because we've got no idea, basically, about what this console might be called. So we're all calling it the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, ignore the AI generated picture here that I quickly created. If it looks like this, however, I wouldn't be complaining. I think this looks pretty smart. Although the joystick only has got one thumbstick and button. So yeah, AI, you messed up there. You're not as good as society makes you out to be, AI. But yeah, we look like we're going to get something today. And apparently Nintendo are not too pleased. Well, why would they be? Nintendo have never been that kind of company that genuinely work with leaks. They like to keep everything kind of private. And we've had rumors of a Nintendo Switch 2 for years. It hasn't come out. But the leaks are really solid this time round. The rumor mill is in overdrive, and we're getting more absolutely terrible generated knock-up versions of Switches than we've ever seen before. Now, as I'm going along here today, you'll see there's going to be a few images that I use of some that have just been put out there. Some potentially might be a lot closer to what we get if the reveal is today than what some of them definitely aren't going to be. Now, the ones you see here, I wouldn't be surprised if the Switch 2, if that is what it's called, is going to come out and look something along these lines. I'm definitely in the camp that thinks it's going to be not that much of a drastic change in look. I just think there's going to be a lot of improvements with the screen, most definitely. The Joy-Cons 100%. Nintendo cannot leave them as they are. There's got to be a lot of improvements with the Joy-Cons. There was a great little innovation in 2016 when the Switch came out, but they were deeply flawed. Nintendo cannot make that mistake again this time around. Now, the Joy-Con issue really didn't affect them in terms of sales. We all know that. The Switch went on and is still selling really well today. But I'm sure it cost them a fair bit of profit with the amount of repairs they had to do, because stick drift was a real thing. So yeah, Nintendo definitely have to improve on that front. The screen, we all pretty much know it's going to be OLED. They're not going to go backwards on that front. I wonder if Nintendo have learned how to make a kickstand, because the last few attempts that they've had, they haven't been very good. Lots of third-party companies that have made accessories for the Switch, they've made a kickstand, and they've made a good kickstand. Nintendo, on the other hand, yeah, not so much. So what do we think is going to be revealed? Now, with Nintendo, we've always known them to have some sort of gimmick with their consoles. Now, I've been reading, doing my, I'm going to say research, but basically I've been listening to the leaks and the rumor mill. That's about as much research someone in my position can do on this subject. And I haven't seen much in terms of what's going to be different with this console compared to the last one. Nintendo always have a gimmick. Look at the Wii. Look at the Wii U. Okay, the Wii U wasn't a success, but nevertheless, it had a gimmick. And then the Switch, it had the portability aspect of it. Again, a gimmick. This one, I haven't seen anything that's going to have like a unique, a USP to it. It's not been reported as such. So I'm quite interested to see what Nintendo come out with on that front. I don't think they're going to leave it completely just a standard console with the same kind of concept as what the Switch had. I think they're going to drop something in there. So if they do drop something, well done to Nintendo for keeping hold of that, because that don't seem to have been reported too well. Now, specs, widely been reported out there. I'm not really a specs guy. I'll read it. I don't understand it as much as some other people out there, but I'll put a couple of things on the screen as we're going along here that have been rumored. Now, the best way to sum it up is that people are reporting that this Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be power-wise on a par with a PS4 Pro. Now, initially my thoughts were, okay, I get it. Nintendo have never really gone for power in order to take on the competition. But I did think, you know, by the time this console generation finishes, how far behind is that technology going to be? But then I thought about how the Nintendo Switch has managed to continue selling, not just selling, but excelling with the very old technology that it uses. The Nintendo Switch technology itself wasn't really that groundbreaking at all when it was released, but yet it's still going today and it's still managing it very well. Now, when you think about it, a PlayStation 4 Pro in handheld form is a very, very, very good handheld. So in all honesty, with the range of games that I play and what I aim for when I buy Nintendo products, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be quite happy with that. I just want to see what the innovation is in terms of what Nintendo have got going for this console. The USP. The unique selling point. What is it going to be with this console? They're going to have to stay hybrid. I don't think there's any way for them to go back on that front. They can't. The Switch was far too successful. And that's a good thing, because that aspect is brilliant and has worked out so well. Sometimes when something is so successful and you can't go back, you end up boxing yourself into a corner. I don't think that's going to be the case this time around with Nintendo. I think they've got the right formula, and I think this is the way to stay. Anyway, let's have another look at a few more terrible images of what some people are believing the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to look like. Now, this one looks terrible, doesn't it? Anyway, software. For me, that's what it's all about. There's lots of reports of games that are going to be released on day one. We've got Mario Kart 9. How Nintendo are going to top Mario Kart 8? I don't know. If they do, then believe me, we've got a fantastic game on our hands. We've also got reports of Halo coming to the Nintendo Switch on day one. Now, this is quite believable because Xbox, the way they operate these days, I can totally see Halo on other systems. And it would be a massive deal to have Halo on such a system, especially on release day. Definitely will cause a lot of noise. Then we've got Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, in all honesty, I'm not too excited for this one. Red Dead Redemption 2, a brilliant game. I haven't played it enough. I'm certain it's going to be a massive selling game and a very been out on other systems for addition to any library. It's not something that's going to make me rush out and buy a console like this on day one. Not when I can already buy it on other consoles. And saying that, the same will be said for Halo. But Mario Kart 9 and the reports of a new 3D based Mario game, in other words like a sequel to Odyssey per se, those have got me really curious. Now, it took me a long time to buy a Switch the last time it came around, but this time around I've got a feeling I might be a day one adopter of whatever Nintendo announced, hopefully today. The only thing that might stop me buying a Nintendo Switch 2, if that's what it's going to be called, on day one is maybe a special edition, you know, limited edition type ones that come out. Nintendo always release different variants of their consoles, and potentially I might wait for something. That's all going to be very dependent on what this Mario Kart and this other Mario game look like, however. If both of these games are reportedly true and going to be out on day one, and they blow me away with this trailer, then yeah, I can safely say I'll pretty much be buying one of these as soon as possible. I wonder if they're going to be really difficult to purchase. I've got a feeling they are. I think pre-orders will go through the roof for whatever system Nintendo decide to release. So anyway, what are your thoughts? What do you guys think will be announced today, if an announcement's made at all? What are your hopes for the following console that comes out from Nintendo? Anyway, I know myself, I'm going to be locked to the internet today, hopefully to see whatever these guys come out with. I'm excited. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.